Logan Paul recently said some shocking remarks about a baby in its mother's womb, and we're going to look at how this actually reveals to us a greater growing problem in our society. My name's Tommy Jordan. Welcome back to the Gospel with Tommy. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's take a look.
And so that's when you play fast and loose, I think, with human life. And again, if you don't ascribe value something outside of, oh, they're healthy, or they're not going to be a suck on society. If it's something beyond that where it's, no, they have value no matter what because they're created in God's image. They reflect even God's image. Then you can't end that life.
It's very funny you bring up the ultrasound thing. We got the ultrasound of my unborn baby girl yesterday.
Congrats.
And by the way, you're absolutely right. I'm super pro-life. I always.
What? Logan Paul just said he's pro-life. That is a wild statement. Okay, let's hear some more. Let's see what he really thinks.
I think it's weird for anyone to decide what anyone else does with their body. That's insane.
Well, let me.
Let me.
I just want to.
I just want to. I saw the ultrasound yesterday. 21-week-old baby. And I saw fingers. I saw hands. I saw a baby. I saw a little human. Personally, yeah, seems a little up to abort a 21-year-old weak baby. 21-week-old baby.
Old baby.
Yeah, the ultrasound makes it super, super real. But in those odd instances and unfortunate instances where, like, again, it's always you'll always have people pushing back on the conversation. Or even, like, say someone determines they're not responsible enough. And that's a responsible decision in itself. Maybe I'm not at a point in my life where
So he first says that it's really messed up. In other words, this is the PG version. If someone ends a baby's life, but at the same time, it's like if you're a teenager, you get knocked up and you're in high school, okay, then maybe you should end the baby's life. And actually, believe it or not, I just had this thought. My wife, okay, her mother had her, I think in the junior year of high school, okay? And she kept her, obviously. She's my wife nowadays. She's my wife forever till I die. But if her mom decided that, hey, this is too hard, I'm going to end this baby's life, I wouldn't have my beautiful children. I wouldn't have my relationship with her. I mean, so it's interesting. Logan says, hey, it's really messed up. Once you guys see it's a baby and you see their hands and feet moving around, like, how could you end that life? But at the same time, okay, if someone can't handle it, then get rid of the little booger.
I'm willing to take care of a child because I don't have the means, the resources, the finances. I'm not stable enough in my own life to be able to bear this baby. That's I think responsible and, like, maybe a little bit of an ethical decision because you've deemed you're not able to raise this baby yet.
But even your statement right there semi-contradicts your original statement.
Nice, Mike.
Which is that you shouldn't be passing any judgment on when abortion is or isn't okay because the woman should have the whole say. Like in your original statement, if a woman says, I want to abort this baby, it's her body, her choice. So we all abide to that. So we should have we shouldn't even be having this discussion based on your original.
Well, that's what it is. No. We should be having this discussion because it's all a discussion.
First off, this isn't a video to bash Logan. I actually think it's really good that he is having these discussions. Obviously, he's searching for God if he's having people like them on his channel, okay, on Impulsive. That's a big deal because not a lot of people are actually willing to talk to people who have different beliefs than them. We all like to sort of sit in an echo chamber and not actually explore what is truth, okay? And is what I believe truth or is it not truth? And something that's interesting that happened in that video is he acknowledges that, yeah, when I saw my child in, the mother's womb, like, I realized, like, wow, how horrible would it be if someone ended that life? So he's having that realization on one hand right over here, right? But then on the other hand, he then goes, well, if it's someone else's baby, it's their choice. And who am I to say anything? So we agree that human life over here, when it's personal, is important. But then when it's not ours, it's not important. And people and this is I think a growing problem with society, people don't want to stand up for what they believe and really say right is right and wrong is wrong. And I want to question you, especially if you're a Christian, are you willing to stand up for what's right and for what's wrong? Because the Bible actually tells us, Jesus says, if you acknowledge me on earth, I will acknowledge you in heaven before my heavenly Father, before God, right? This life is going to go by so quick. And if Christians don't stand up for biblical values like protecting life, we'll just see society continue to decay and decay and decay. That's not what this video is about, but I'm just saying here, okay? Because we see in the Bible clearly God created man and woman in his image. So this is why, if you're wondering if you're a non-Christian, this is why human life is so valuable, because it's not an accident as the Big Bang Theory or evolution teaches us. People were made with a design. Just as you see a beautiful painting, right? A Monet, you look at it, all right? Like Starry Night, whatever painting you want to look at, and you see, wow, someone put a lot of thought into that painting. The way they did the brush strokes, the colors they chose, where they sat in that scene to get the sun setting a certain way, right? There's a creator. Well, your hair color, your eye color, your skin color, you were created with a purpose, right? To be on this earth. And I believe this is the problem, that people aren't willing to stand up. They could acknowledge that something's wrong, but they're not willing to make a stand and say it's wrong. That's why my family and we support organizations like Save the Storks, okay? And this is what Save the Storks do, and they have an ultrasound testing center inside these buses. And they have these buses outside a lot of clinics that end babies' lives, okay? And basically, these buses, they've saved over 11,000 lives. You can see where they are across the country, because they've done studies that when a mother sees their child, that they're like 8 times more likely or something to not end that baby's life. So if you're a Christian, I just challenge you today to speak up. And don't be afraid to share up your beliefs, whether society agrees with them or doesn't agree with them, because it's time for Christians to start standing up for what they believe in. And also going on shows like Impulsive, if you're a Christian, I think is a very good thing to do, because Jesus came to seek and save those who are lost, right? We can't fault Logan for being against God or saying derogatory things against Jesus. God ultimately is the judge, right? So you can't judge the world for being the world. God's going to judge the world, but we can speak love and truth in love to reach these lost people. So it's just funny to me. Logan says he's pro-life, but then at the same time, if there's another life that's a woman and she has a child in the unborn womb, like, he's not going to do anything to try to stop that woman from having that child, because it's her choice. And it's funny that we say my body, my choice, when in essence, if you're a woman and you have another human life in your womb, is it really your body, right, and your choice? Wait, don't you have another body growing inside you? Isn't there another human being inside your womb? So who made you, God, to decide all of a sudden whether that life decides to live, okay? So yeah, you're getting to decide, what you want to do with that life, but why doesn't that life get to decide, right? And by the way, there are lots of adoption, there's lots of places out there that will help women who don't have financial means, that sort of thing, at least in America. And even if you don't have the financial means, like, there's no excuse. So, pray for Logan, pray for our country, pray for our nation. And I just want you to be bold today in love. Don't back down, about things like human life. I think it's important, because human beings matter and we need to stop what's happening in America. So like and subscribe. Check out this video right over here.